Okay, so we are done with the discussion of fluid flow. Yan, ay turo ko na sa inyo ito. Yung fluid flow in pipes, yung continuity equation, kung paano natin sila gagamitin. And then later, part nito will be yung energy equation or the Bernoulli principle. Okay? Ay turo ko na lahat sa inyo yan. So, now we will solve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 problems. And the 2 will be reserved for you to answer on your own para may practice sets din kayo. So let us begin our discussion with this problem. So problem number 1. Ayan. Problem number 1, a fluid flows through a pipe with a diameter of 10 cm at a velocity of 9 cm per second. If the diameter of the pipe then decreases to 6 cm, so i-drawing muna natin siya. This is section 1. Read natin yung section 2. Ayan. So, meron kang fluid flow dyan sa pipe na yan. Okay, meron kang area 1, meron kang velocity 1, meron kang area 2, velocity 2. Now, dito, yung pipe diameter mo is at 10 cm. Yan. Dito, bumaba siya ng 6, decreases to 6 cm yung kanyang diameter. Now, what is the new velocity of the fluid? Okay. From the continuity equation, di ba? Sinabi ko sa inyo that for incompressible fluid, A1, V1 is equal to A2, V2. Now, yung area, take note that area of the flow, pagpalagay natin, it is circular parate. From here and here, where your masses are the same, okay? So, area of the flow is pi over 4 d squared. D squared tuloy. Mas taas yan, d squared. Yung area ng flow. Now, we substitute that to the equation, pi over 4, d1 squared, velocity 1, tapos yung pi over 4, d2 squared, velocity 2. Ngayon, cancelable naman yung pi over 4 dyan kasi same lang sila. Now, ang hinahanap natin dito is velocity 2. We will reform that. So, velocity 2 is equal to d1 squared over d2 squared velocity 1. Mahanap na natin si velocity 2. So, velocity 2 is equal to d1. Ano yung d1 mo dyan? That is 10 cm squared divided by 6 cm squared. Multiply to velocity 1 which is 9 cm per second. Cancel all the same units. Ayan. What will be the answer? Calculate natin. So, 10 squared, bale 100, 6 times 6, 36. Bale, 10 squared divided by 6 squared multiplied to 9. The answer will be 25. Tama ba sagot natin? 25 cm per second. Very basic pa yan. Oh, sir, may tinatanong bang ganyan sa board exam mo? Oh, almost pre-score to eh. Pag mga ganito tinatanong sa board exam. Problem number 2. Problem number 2. Same lang. A pipe with diameter of 2 cm is attached to a garden hose with a nozzle. If the velocity of the flow in the pipe is 2 meter per second dapat to, what is the velocity of the flow at the nozzle when it is adjusted to have a diameter of 4 mm? From a diameter of 2 cm to to a diameter of 4 mm. So, 2 cm una. Okay, 2 cm. Nagno-nozzle siya. Nozzle siya ng 4 mm daw dito. 2 cm, tapos ito 4 mm. Now, yung velocity of the flow is 2 meter per second. Lalabas siya dito as V2. Hindi natin alam. Okay? Natin alam yung V2. So, yung mass na yan is constant pa rin. We are ought to find yung velocity of the flow at the nozzle. Nandito. Ito yung nozzle. Now, lista ulit natin. So, D1 squared V1 equal to D2 squared V2. Sanayin yung sarili niyo dito. Now, hinahanap natin si V2. So, V2 is equal to D1 squared over D2 squared velocity 1. So, V2 is equal to D1 is 2 cm. Gawin na natin siyang millimeter. 2 cm times there are 10 mm per 1 cm. Tapos, squared natin. Divided by 4 mm squared. Multiply mo to velocity which is excuse me, 2 meter in every second. Now, calculate. So, 2 times 10 squared. Tapos, 4 squared times 2 meter per second. What will be the answer? So, that is 50 meter per second. Bumalik siya. Yan lang. Ganun lang kadali yun. Basic. Very basic. Next problem. Find the mass flow rate in kilogram per second of a liquid. In kilogram per second of a liquid with density of 0.69 gram per cm cube following through a 5 cm inside diameter pipe at mass flow rate. Okay, the mass is equal to what? Mass is equal to density. Diba? Mass over volume equal yan sa the density times volume. That is equal to mass. Tama? So, ang binigay sa'yo, inside diameter, ang problema mo, wala ka. O, going back to fluid flow. Ano ba yung binigay ko dyan? Ano yung condition mo dyan? Fluid lang, wala sinabing compressible. Anong pwede natin gamitin dito equation? Eh di ito, di ba mass is always equal to the density of the fluid multiplied to the area of the flow. Ninukuha mo dito, mass flow rate eh. Area of the flow times the velocity of the flow. Ganun yun. Area of the flow and the velocity of the flow simply is equal to the volumetric flow. Okay? So, mass flow rate is equal to density of the fluid multiplied to area of the flow times the velocity of the flow. Mali yung ano ko. Velocity of the flow. Yan. So, what is the density of the fluid? 0.69 grams per cm cube. Tapos, yung kanyang inside diameter na 5 cm, pi over 4 d squared. So, 5 cm squared multiplied to d, velocity of the flow, 8.3 meter in every second. Now, ang problema mo dito, tandaan nyo, sa lahat ng solving, ang i-consider mo parati dyan, yung magiging dulong unit. So, dito, sa consideration mo, ano yung major dyan? Lahat naman sila naka-SI units. Ang problema mo, ahabulin mo yung kilogram per second. Meron ka na bang kilogram dyan? Wala pa. Meron ka na bang maka-cancel pa dyan? Yung pinaka-dominant dyan, yun lang ang susundin mo. Okay? Majority, yun ang susundin mong unit. Saan ka po saan ka tawag dito? Saan ka ko-convert? Sa dulo ka parati magko-convert. Okay? Pakita ko sa inyo. So, dito, yung gram mo kailangan maging kilogram. Yung meter mo dapat maging cm para maka-cancel mo yung cm cube. O, dito na tayo papasok. Okay, sa ilalim. Kaya mo dyan, 0.69. Kunin mo na kagad yung mga numerical values. So, pi over 4. Tapos dito, 5 times 5. O di 25. Mamaya na yung unit. Okay? Tapos 8.3. Pagsama-samahin mo sila. Ngayon, anong natira? Gram per cm cube. Pag mahina ka mag-convert, ganito gawin mo. Cm cube times cm squared times meter per second. Anong gusto nating unit? Kilogram per second. Ngayon, may mga cancel dito. Cancel natin. May matirang isa. Cancel to. 0 na yan. May nakatirang isa dito. Yung gram, kailangan natin maging kilogram. O, di-multiply mo to dito ng ilan. So, ilang grams per kilogram? You have 1 kilogram in 1,000 grams. Okay, maka-cancel natin yung unit. Yes, cancel na tong unit na to. Multiply ko ulit. Yung meter, kailangan yan maging cm para may isa ditong mawala. So, ilang cm per meter? You have 100 cm in every meter. So, cancel yung meter, yung cm cancel na isa dito. Anong lumabas? Yung kilogram second. Basic, di ba? So, we calculate 0.69 times 25. Shift pi, kasi kasama yung pi, times 8.3 times 100. Sa baba naman, galing ka dito, 1,000 tapos 4. 4 times 1,000. What will be the answer? 11.24 kilogram in every second. Okay? Yun yung sagot. Very basic. 11.24 kilograms in every second. That is the mass flow rate of the system. Okay? Problem number 3. Problem number 4. A horizontal pipe cross-section. Ay, binigyan ako ng cross-section dyan. Horizontal pipe, sabi dyan. May cross-section ka na. Okay. Ayan. Drawing natin yung pipe. Okay. 8 cm squared as a constriction of cross-section. Ibig sabihin, constrict. Yung constrict, sinakal mo. Diba? Sabi nila, constrict, sinakal. Ibig sabihin, pinaliit mo. Oh, pinaliit mo lang siya. Oh, kinonstrict mo eh. Okay. Meron kang in a larger pipe na 10 cm per second daw yung gasoline. What is the speed of the constriction dito? Velocity 2. Pare-parehas lang. Meron kang area 1. 8 cm squared. Meron kang area 2. na 2 cm squared. Oh, basic na yan. Nung inanap, V2. Oh, A1, V1 equal to A2, V2. Wala pang challenge dito. Very basic lang to. So, V2 is equal to A1 over A2 V1. O, anong sagot? A1 is 8 cm squared over 2 cm squared multiplied to 10 cm per second. O, anong lalabas dyan? Cancel yung cm squared. 8, bali magiging 4. 4 times 10, that is 40 cm every second. Basic, di ba? Hindi mo kailangan mag-math. Hindi mo kailangan mag-calculator. Basic math lang yun. Next problem. A tube contains oil. May tubo ka daw. Oil of specific gravity. Ito yun. Malagay na lang natin dyan. May tubo ka dyan. Specific gravity niya is 0.9. To a depth of 120 cm. Find the gauge pressure at this depth in kPa. So, pressure gauge equal to. Her, hindi ko kabisado. Ay, naku, lugi ka dyan. Yari ka. Again, remember that pressure is equal to yung specific weight of the fluid multiplied to the height of the container. Okay? Now, alam mo ba yung specific weight of the fluid? No, but we have an equation there. The specific weight of the fluid. Iko-consider mo yung density ng water kasi given yung SG. Diba? That is density of the fluid multiplied to gravity. Pero wala tayong density of the fluid. Yung density of the fluid, so recap to density of the fluid is equal to SG ng fluid multiplied to density ng water. Ganun lang. So, ibig sabihin, pressure now will become Sg of the fluid or the specific gravity of the fluid multiplied to the density of water times gravity. Tandaan nyo, itong specific, density ng water and gravity is equal to the specific weight ng water. Yan. Ito. Multiplied to the height of the column. Now, what is the density of water? The specific weight of water na lang, rather. What is the specific weight of water? Ilan? 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube. Ilan yan sa English? 62.4. Ilan? Pound per feet cube. Basic yan dapat alam nyo. So, the specific gravity of the fluid is 0.9 multiplied to 9.81 kilonewton per meter cube multiplied to, wag nyo na consider yung gravity, nandito na yan multiplied to the height na meron ka dyan. Ano yun? 120 cm. Hindi makakancel si meter cube para maging kPa. So, paano yan? O di meron ka dyang 100 cm in every 1 meter. We cancel all the same units. So, yung meter cube, matitira niyang dalawa. Yung cm, cancel ito. Tapos yung kilonewton as is. You now have the pressure gauge or the gauge pressure in kPa. That is 0.9 times 9.81 times 1.2. The answer is 10.59 kPa. Very basic. Okay, that is for problem number 5. Next problem. Napapasarap tayo. This is an example nung tawag dito, pisometer and manometer, open-ended. So, lagay natin dito. I want this one. This is a very good example. Mamaya ko isosolve yung manometer. So, you have here a mixing problem. Okay? So, there are two gaseous streams entering a mixing chamber through two sections and leaves through one section. Entrance conditions are A1 is 450 cm squared. Velocity is 150 millimeter per second. And then specific volume. Ano ba yung specific volume? The specific volume of a fluid, ayan, specific volume of a fluid is equal to the reciprocal ng density ng fluid na yun. Okay, tandaan nyo ito. Reciprocal lang yan. So, specific volume of the fluid is 0.625 meter cube per kilogram. Sa area 2, that is 380 cm squared. Velocity is 55 meter per second, and density 2 dapat to, hindi 1. Density 2. This is 2. Equal to 2 kg per cubic meter. At the exit conditions, meron kang binigay dyan. So, two gaseous streams. Meron kang mixing chamber. Paano yan? Let us first draw. Let us draw. Ay, gusto ko nagdo-drawing. Yeah. So, you have here a mixing chamber. This is your mixing chamber. Okay? Now, you have there a pipe 1, and then you have there a pipe 2. Yan. Dito sila magmi-mix up. Okay? Ito yung flow nung isa. Ito naman yung flow nung isa. Okay? Mamimix siya. Mixing chamber nga eh. Okay? They mix there. Okay? So, you have here mass 1 and you have here mass 2. Now, living in the system, ibig sabihin nag-mix na sila. Okay? When they mix together, they form a total mass. Now, how will you put this into an equation? You put it this way. Okay? Sabi dyan, sa law of conservation of mass, diba? Hindi mo ma-destroy mass niyan. Diba? Hindi mo mababawasan. Madadagdagan mo pa. So, M1 plus M2 when they mix will yield a total mass of empty. Yan yung equation 1 mo. How about equation 3? You recall, okay? You recall. You recall this one. Recall. Recall. That your mass flow rate, kasi mass flow rate to eh. Mass flow rate to. Ito, mass flow rate din yan. Okay? Oh. That M1 is equal to density ni 1, area ni 1, and then velocity ni 1. Yan. Okay. And M2 simply is density 2, area 2, and then velocity 2. Tandaan nyo yan. So, we put it in here, okay? We put it in here. Yan. So, yung equation 1 mo is M1 plus M2 equal to MT. So, dito yan ha. So, density 1, area 1, velocity 1 is added to density 2, area 2, velocity 2. And it will yield a total mass of MT. Yan. For M1, okay? This for M1, this for M2. The problem there is, wala tayong density 2. As what I've said, density is the reciprocal of your specific volume. Ayan. Okay? So, nagbigay dyan ng conditions ng density 2. Okay, pwede natin makuha to. Okay? Pwede natin makuha yung empty. Where empty there, okay, itong empty na ito, is equal to density 3, area 3, and specific volume, hindi, specific volume tuloy. Velocity at 3. Ayan. Solve muna natin to. Dito, meron tayong density 1, area 1, velocity 1, plus, wala tayo nito. Ay, ang binigay dyan. Ay, sa 2 pala yan. Meron binigay sa 2. Sa A1 pa lang, wala. So, ito babaguhin natin. Okay? A1, B1. O di multiply na lang natin to ng 1 over specific volume at 1. Tapos, density 2, area 2, velocity 2. Equal to empty. Pwede ko na isolve. Reform natin. Okay? Area 1. What is area 1 given there? Area 1 is 450 cm squared. Okay. Check. Velocity 1. That is 150 meter per second. Okay? 150 meter per second. Okay. So, specific volume. The specific volume there is 0.625 meter cube per kilogram. Plus, okay, dugtong ako dito, plus, density 2. Density 2 is 2 kilogram per cubic meter. 2 kilogram per cubic meter. Tama ba? Density 2. Area 2, 380 cm squared. Density, area, and velocity. 55 meter per second. Equal to MT. Problema, meron tayo ditong unit na naiiba. Lahat makakancel yon. Dapat ang lalabas dyan is kilogram per second. Aakit lang naman to, itong cm squared. O edi multiply natin both sides. Urong ko nga ito. Urong ko lang ito para hindi nakakailang. Control X. Control B. Ay natin dito. Urong natin. Ayan. Hindi na urong. Ayan. So, kailangan natin i-multiply siya with what? Yung conversion factor ng cm squared. Kailangan matanggal yung cm squared. You have 100 cm squared tapos 1 meter squared. Equal na natin to MT. MT. Okay. Excuse me. So, pwede mo naman i-multiply yan. Buo na lang. So, 450. Mamaya ako na i-multiply. 450 times 150 divide by 0.625 plus 2 times 55 times 380. Okay. I-divide natin ng 100 squared. The answer will be 14.98. Yung MT is 14.98 meter tuloy, kilogram in every second. Mass flow rate yan, ha? So, meron ka ng MT. Oh. Recall natin that MT is equal to density 3, velocity 3, and then area 3. Ang hinahanap natin is area 3. Okay? Therefore, area 3 is equal to MT divided by density 3 tapos velocity 3. Yan. So, 14.98 kilogram in every second divided by density yung binigay dyan sa 3, that is hindi siya binigyan ng density. So, reciprocal ng density, okay? Equal pa rin yan. O, di V3A3 divided by specific volume 3. So, nasa taas yung specific volume mo. So, hindi na siya density 3. That is specific volume at 3. O, specific volume yan, ha? Binigay dyan. So, 0.58 per kilogram. Velocity 3 is 245 meter per second. So, cancel yung kilogram, cancel yung kilogram, cancel yung seconds, seconds. Dapat makancel yung meter. You have yung kanyang conversion factor na 100 cm squared divided by 1 meter squared. Cancel all the same units, yung meter cube, yung meter dito, isa. So, meter squared. Ang natira is cm squared. Ayun na, pwede na nating isolve. So, the area for the exit will be 14.98 times 0.58 times 100 squared divided by 2, 4, 5. The answer is 354.63. 0.63 cm squared. That is for that problem. So, let us take a 5-minute break, and after this, we will continue with more problems to come.